gonna come. What's up folks, this is Pratt and I am back with another video. Now, why am I doing yoga? Simple. Because I changed my lifestyle. I'm gonna go today, stretching and all them something there and no, I'm just messing around. Nothing against yoga, but we're not doing any actual yoga today. Actually, today we're going to be reviewing the first convertible laptop that has ever made it across my desk, made it onto my channel, and the first convertible laptop I've ever had the chance to play around with. We're talking about the Lenovo Yoga 6. This is the 2022 version. And yeah, we're gonna be looking at the specs and the overall, just the layout, how it's designed, the specifications, the features, the things I like, I don't like, basically stuff like that, right? But before I get into that, I'd like you to do me a little favor. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow the channel and I would greatly appreciate if you just hit subscribe. It takes about a second, right? And go ahead and hit the like button as well if you like the video. I really appreciate that, right? So yeah, I'm gonna get into the laptop review, so just stick around, grab your drinks, grab your food, and yeah, ready up people, intro time. So as I said, we're looking at the Lenovo Yoga 6. It's a convertible laptop. Pretty much means that you can bend it 360 degrees and turn it into like a tablet mode. I'm not a huge fan of convertible laptops, and to be honest, I've never used a convertible laptop long enough to can decide if it would be something I'll get used to or not. But the short amount of time I spent with this laptop, if I was to get a convertible laptop, this would have to be something like the base minimum, or whatever quality is out there have to be like greater than this. But this particular laptop, like looking at it, just how it's built, how compact it is, the different ports, like the screen resolution, the specifications, everything about it, like this in my opinion screams quality. Not MacBook, not Apple quality, but in the world of Windows, this is like build quality, the thought that goes behind the design, everything, like yeah, it screams quality, it says quality. In terms of specifications, this particular model comes with the AMD Ryzen 7 5700U. That's at 8 cores and 16 threads, 8 megabytes of cache at 1.8 gigahertz, and it can go up to 4.3 gigahertz max boost. For the memory, it goes up to 16 gigabytes of DDR4. This particular model had the full 16 gigabytes of DDR4. So in terms of storage, it comes with a 512 gigabyte NVMe drive. Now this particular model had a SK Hynix drive in there, so yeah, 512 gigabyte NVMe drive. And for the graphics, it comes with an integrated AMD Radeon graphics, codename Lucian. This is 7 nanometers at 2 gigabytes, and it's using the DDR4 memory that is on the system. So it's a APU, not a dedicated GPU, right? But it's still powerful enough. It has a 13.3 10-point multi-touch touchscreen at 1920 by 1200 resolution. It's a high resolution display with 300 nits of brightness, and it's basically squashed into a small compact size, so you're not seeing the pixels at that size. For the audio, we have Dolby Atmos stereo speakers, and for the camera, we have a 720p HD camera at the front. For the wireless network, we have Wi-Fi 6 AX and Bluetooth 5.1. It comes with a 60-watt lithium-ion polymer battery. It's supposed to last up to 18 hours. I wasn't able to use it long enough to check if it did that. And I was doing some heavy stuff on it, like reinstalling the operating system and stuff, so I had to have it plugged in. So for the operating system, it comes with Windows 11 Home, but my personal duty on this model is to change the operating system and put it back to Windows 10, because the user is much more comfortable on Windows 10. So that would be the mission, and what a mission it was. Now for the size, it's not any larger than your typical 13-inch MacBook Pro. For the height, it might be a bit taller if you should put both of them like flat on a surface. you'd find that the yoga is a bit taller, so if you should run your fingers over it, you'll find like a hit at the edge. A huge plus though are the ports. So if you can see here on a typical 13-inch MacBook Pro or a typical MacBook Pro made from 2017 or made from 2016 and up, then as far as ports go, you'd be winning by miles. We have two USB type A ports, we have micro SD, and we have our power button on the right. These are USB 3.2 Gen 1, and we have one of those ports that is always on. So basically, if you should plug your phone USB cable into that port, then you should be able to charge your device even if the laptop is off, because that port is always on, right? So we have two of those on the right. We have our micro SD card slot, which I'm not a fan of because most cameras don't use micro SD unless you're going with like smaller devices like the GoPros or Osmo DJI Pocket or whatever it is. But most cameras, most people who do anything in productivity use like the standard SD card slot. Unless you're pulling information off of your phone, then you would probably use like a micro SD card and then transfer it directly to your laptop. But on the left, we have two USB Type-C ports. One of them is for power delivery, the next one is for display. Now one of these ports will give you a display signal, so if you should plug a dongle in there or plug any form of USB to USB-C to display cable, then you should get a display on your monitor, right? Then we have our headphone microphone combo jack, and we have our standard HDMI jack. Alright, so for the things that I like about this laptop, first and foremost, the keyboard. My god, I love the keyboard. So the travel distance on the keyboard, in my opinion, is a bit longer than you'd find on like a 2015 MacBook Pro. However, typing on it is extremely comfortable. The keys have this padded sound to it. Can you hear that? Love it. It's tactile, it's responsive. I don't have any problem with the keyboard. The keystrokes are registered. The backlighting for the keyboard, again, absolutely awesome. So if you're a person that likes to type essays or type anything in the night, or even if you're doing some light gaming and you need your keyboard to have any form of backlighting, then yeah, this laptop has you covered. For the trackpad, now I kind of like the trackpad. I like the placement of the trackpad. It's not off to your left or off to your right. It's centered. And, you know, I like the centered trackpad thing. It reminds me of the trackpad layout on MacBook Pros, and I absolutely like that. It's a bit slippery and a bit sensitive, so when you start to use it, like the slightest touch will have your mouse moving all over the place. But after a few hours or after a few minutes of usage, then you should be able to get used to the sensitivity. It's not as accurate. Well, none of these Windows laptops trackpads are as accurate as a MacBook trackpad. So it's not as accurate as a MacBook trackpad, but it is rather responsive. It's very responsive. You still have to press down on the actual trackpad itself. It doesn't come with force touch or anything like that. So it's actually a physical trackpad that you have to press down on, so you will see it sink into the chassis. When you press it down, you will see like a little depression going down there. But that's pretty much how most of these Windows laptops are built anyway. You also have your touch options where you can just touch the trackpad, you know, tap it and it will register a click. But if you want to do like a physical press or a physical click, then you have to do that like in the lower corners and the lower sections of the trackpad. And what I like also, you have your gesture options, which most Windows laptops, modern Windows laptops come with these now, but you have your finger gesture options. You have your zoom in, zoom out, pinch to zoom gestures. You have your 2-finger scrolling, 3-finger swiping to the right or swiping to the left to see what windows you have open, and you have your 3-finger pushing up to show like the expanded view of all your windows, right? So your standard Windows gestures, or you can use the same gestures on Mac. So I like the fact that that is there. Next thing that I like, the camera, the front-facing camera. Now, most laptops come with the camera not covered or not having any form of mechanism to cover your lens, right? And you know, privacy is a huge thing. We don't want anybody hacking into our computers and turning on our cameras and watching us doing whatever we do on the internet, right? This laptop has a built-in camera cover, and it disables the camera whenever you flip it. So it pretty much looks like this. So the webcam appears to be very clean. It looks cool. It looks good. The quality is, I mean, it's not perfect, but There is some quality there. Checking for audio, checking for video. It's nice. And then there's this little thing right here where if I don't want people to see me on the webcam, I can just whoops. I'm gone. Whoops. I'm back. Gone. So whenever you flip the switch, the camera goes off. Nobody can see you, and you basically have your privacy, like manual privacy. Ain't nobody gonna hack that cover, right? Love that feature. Most people have to be like using a tape to tape over their camera and their webcam. Like, love this built-in cover. Gone. So for security, you can use the Windows Hello option to log in. That's pretty much where you use your webcam to scan your face, and you can log in from there. You can also use your fingerprint reader. It comes with a fingerprint reader on the side, which is absolutely great. So if you don't want to be typing in like a long password, you can always register your fingerprint in the system, and whenever you turn on your system and want to log in, then bam, fingerprint ready. And you also have your regular standard login options like password, protection, and you can use the touchscreen also to create like a pattern, because this is a touchscreen. So yeah, that's also available. Now in terms of sound quality, it's not better than a MacBook. I know the MacBooks are like a benchmark for sound quality or audio on a laptop, so it's not better than a MacBook, but it's definitely it's decent. It's close enough to a MacBook. So I'm gonna show you a comparison between this and the audio from a 2015 15-inch MacBook Pro. Check this out. Alright, things that I dislike about this laptop. First and foremost, you're not able to open the laptop using just one finger, one hand. You know, it's going to, the weight is not as balanced like you'd find on a MacBook. And I know I keep on comparing this thing to a MacBook. It's not a MacBook, but MacBooks are the standard, right? So typically or usually, the laptops are balanced where you can use one hand, open the lid, and the laptop base should stay on the ground and open, but this is not the situation here. It's light, so if you should use your one finger and try to pry open the screen, the rest of the body will be following with it, right? So not a fan of that. It's not a huge deal breaker, it's not a big deal, but for this type of build, for this form of quality, I'd love to see something like that implemented in there into the hinges, right? Next dislike, the next thing I'm not a fan of is the whole touchscreen setup. No, I know it's a convertible laptop. It's designed to be turned into a tablet or a tabletop display or anything like that. And yes, you can use a touchscreen, but whenever you use a touchscreen, it's going to leave like fingerprints and hand marks all over the screen, and this is no different. Using the touchscreen is going to use like scuff marks and fingerprints and grease and everywhere, and you'll constantly have to be cleaning the screen, and if they have any form of lamination over it, then that will start to fade after a while, or the touch panel itself will start to like give problems after a while, because I've seen laptops where they have built-in touch displays, and after a while you have to like practically disable it because the touch sensor is going all over the place. So touchscreen laptops, not a complete fan of those. Now as far as gaming goes on this thing, because you know, like having a built-in Ryzen CPU, I mean 8 cores and a 16 thread and a built-in GPU, you know, we definitely have to try some form of gaming on this thing, right? So I didn't have it for a long time. I was basically supposed to change the operating system and then give it back to the user, but you know, I had to slip in some gaming in there somewhere. So I had a portable drive that I keep some of my games on, so I plugged that thing on to the laptop, run my games from there, and I must say they ain't going good. They run pretty well. So here's some footage of my gameplay of some Need for Speed and of Tomb Raider. I'm assuming that had I installed the games onto the drive for the laptop itself, then it would have run much faster. But again, this wasn't the purpose, so I didn't want to put those and blow up the drive and then have to delete and everything. So I just play the games directly from my hard drive, and they were being basically played over like a USB 3 connection, so it wouldn't be as fast as like a PCIe connection going directly to the CPU and everything. So that would have been a bottleneck right there. Alright, well there you have it guys, my review of the Lenovo Yoga 6 convertible laptop, the 5700U mobile version. So if you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you don't, then go ahead and feel free to hit that dislike button. Share your comments on this laptop, and share your comments on which other content you'd like to see on this channel. And yeah, look out for more stuff, because I have a lot of content that is supposed to be released that I'm still working on. So yeah, I'm definitely going to release them. But yeah, keep an eye out, and just keep watching, folks. Just keep watching. Appreciate it tons. All right, so pick up on yourself, and I will definitely see you folks in the next video. See you. Peace.